All right, I believe this is the third recording of me doing Ryoma. Uh, Yesterday I spilled coffee on my mat and my keyboard, and I did not feel like releasing that video. I'll release that part as a blooper. Professional YouTuber slash streamer, by the way. So let us talk about Sakamoto Ryouma. He got his first buff, and it's an MP buff. He actually did need it. Uh, if you played through Gouda 6 and you just didn't want to roll for Lancer Ryoma, but you still want to have Ryoma, okay, he's not that bad. Could he use more buffs? Absolutely. His most recent buff puts him in line with other single target welfares. What I mean by that is his damage was not good. Like, he literally needed an MP buff because buffing his skills wasn't gonna do anything. Like, is MP2 becomes MP1. So MP5 becomes MP2. So quick look at this and we can guess where his damage was here. And this is where his competition was at MP1. He was flat out just not competing. Like, this is probably one of the reasons why Ryder Kintoki didn't get a buff, because he didn't need one. Ryder Kintoki is in line with the other welfare. Yeah. So, does he have other skills that need buff? Yes. Was the MP, though, like the most glaring issue in his kit? I kind of want to say yeah, but I do understand, like, people have other issues with his skills. They are definitely not modern. None of his third skill is the closest thing to being modern. Everything, like his first and second skill, probably getting buffed. All right, let's get started. Part of the thing holding him back is base attack. Is low. It is not high. Actually, let me bring up Ryder Kintoki. He is single target. Yeah, that explains a lot why only an MP buff is gonna change anything. This guy has like 1300 more attack. He only has the one steroid, and Ryoma has two, but you're not making up that attack. Like, this charisma is supposed to get his attack closer to Kintoki. Not with arts. Not when Castoria is loading you up on attack, it gives diminishing return. All right, let's get further into it. HP, it's okay. It's not too bad. It's okay. Star weight, star gen are normal rider numbers. He can gen stars. He has a decent quick card. It's just not going to be what a foreigner, a pretender, an assassin, a moon cancer. You get where I'm going with this. It's not the best star gen, but it's not an Avenger or a Berserk. MP charge 0.56. I do have some issues with this, and it's funny because they flip the hit counts on his face cards and his MP for Lancer. I think that's kind of funny. 0.56. He needs to be critting on these, otherwise they're not doing too hot. But if you look at his hit counts, they are good. These are like really good hit counts. His mighty chain performance not going to be that good just because these are low and his base attack is low. Extra attack benefits from high stats from everything because nothing can crit. Yeah, this is 6 hits. Awesome. That will gen some stars. That will gen MP, but don't expect it to be like something crazy. Like if Shisho was doing a mighty chain, he has like 7 hit. Her base gain's higher, base attack is obviously higher, and she's a Lancer, so she has more stars. This is a welfare. He's restricted by a lot of stuff. And yeah, get started. So 100%, this is going to get buffed. It's not a question of if, it's when. charisma is one of the most buff skills in this game. I don't want to say more people have gotten their charismas buffed than haven't, because I don't think that's true. But like, we're looking at like 40% of all charismas in the game have been buffed by this point. That's a lot more than you'd think for such a common skill. Like 40% when it's 7, 8, 11, 12, 14, 17, 20. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, 45%. I was off by 1 by looking at it. Yeah. Charisma. This is going to get buffed. When it gets buffed, it's going to be 20%, and they're going to give him something else. They have to. They have to. Now that he's in the game permanently, they can do it whenever they want. But before, if a welfare was not in the game, like people didn't have access to it. Why would you buff it? Why would you because it's one thing when it's a limited servant. It's like, okay, they might go on raid up sometime soon. But for a welfare, if they were not available at that time, and this happened with it's not Fujino, Shiki Assassin got buffed, but there was no rerun. And yeah, there was no rerun. So like, people were like, what the fuck? People that played at the start of the game are the only ones that can even use the buff. Oh well, now all these welfares can get better. Their MP damage probably isn't changing. If a welfare is hitting like 56, they're probably not getting an MP buff. It would probably, the skill buffs would make it better. And they're art servants, or this is an art servant, so you don't have to worry about double stacking with Itch for effect. His effects aren't that good for that anyway. All right, next one. When I was doing the the 15 AP XP node, because I'm farming mana prisms for like chop and shit. I thought this was leveled 20 and that it had this effect. I did not know this was a static 10, and that was it. Yeah, no, this is cool. Adding debuff resistance to the party is cool. If someone has like naturally 50%, you turn a coin flip into crits. Although we all know how crits work in this game. If you have 90%, of course it's not going to crit, but if you have 20%, it's going to crit every single time. That's the kind of situation you're going to run if you up your party's debuff resistance like this, and they already have God Assistance magic resist combo. Like, I think Base Discharge is like one of the big ones that have that combo. But yeah, like you make it so like you don't get buffed. It is crazy how cool this game feels when you're fighting a debuffing boss and you're like, none of it is sticking to you. You're just like, nope, 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 nope. And then you have Castoria cleanse everything that manages to get through. And again, this is party-wide debuff resistance, so the supports too. And if you're doing multi-core, whoever's AoEing, like, they're not gonna get debuffed. So like berserkers that do not have magic resist actually get something. I'm not saying this is a good skill. It's not. It needs a buff, but you don't see this part often. You don't. Increasing party debuff res is not a common buff. Third skill, 20% arts, 3 turns, 15 stars. If the cooldown on this was any lower, higher, but on a 5 turn, this is fine. Just because this is party wide. And 15 stars, it's not the biggest star bomb, but it is. These days, this can guarantee like a crit. Or crits. With Mighty Chains, you can guarantee crits with this much. Maybe not all the cards are crits, but like the cards you're using might turn in. Again, that depends on star weight and everything. Passive skills, 15% debuff resistance, riding A+. So this quick card actually, for a rider, is actually really good. And Divinity for extra tickle. I think this is Nobu. I'm actually not sure. But yeah, meta loading, extra attack. You guys will have the coins now. Level these up. And you want mana loading to use Ryouma as a single target nuke, sub DPS. You might think, oh, he doesn't have a big battery. He's an art servant. As long as the first wave is not the single target, you should be good. You can either stall out with face cards, or just arch chain, and like let him get a crit on one of the turns. Like, if you're running him with an arts team, like starting from 0 should not be your biggest concern. You have other concerns if like starting from 0 is the biggest one. All right, let's go to the MP. Now, as you can see, this is not a good MP. Before they buffed it, this was not good. It had no normal effect and a chance to drain. Only 60% at base. If you do this before someone had a gauge, it wouldn't do anything. There was literally no other effect besides it hitting hard and being free MP5. The fact that they released MP like this, how scared could you have possibly been? This looks a whole lot better now. Still damage to one enemy, still 4 hits. Guaranteed drain now. Hog, you cannot resist this. Debuff resistance does not resist drain. I'm pretty sure missed. Yeah. When I was watching Mist buff breakdown, debuff resistance cannot resist drain unless an enemy has specifically can't be drained. You can do this on this and stop MPs. That in itself is a form of survivability, and he is an art servant. You would run him with Gastoria. I just don't know how often you're going to be spamming the MP. I mean, but if you're running him, Castoria, and Tamamo, they're not fucking MPing. They're not MPing. You're draining like 2. You're draining like 3 every 1 a turn, and then occasionally you drain 1 more from Tamamo, based on how much you're spamming for MP. This is a much better functioning MP for the current landscape. Maybe, like, obviously, again, this drain doesn't affect multicore because they're not letting the people get a chance to MP. This, though, is helpful for multicore. You get some stars to crit after for the next turn. It's not a lot, but it's something. He goes from not having a normal effect and an overcharge that might not do anything to having a guaranteed normal effect drain, and then some extra stars. I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth when they buff a shitty MP and just make it better. Flat out make it better. Is this a unit you should probably be investing in? It depends on who you have, and this is gonna go back to how I do my tier list. Before, again, MP5 MP5 becomes MP2 when you get an MP buff. He was comparable to Mandricardo. Maybe not Mandricardo when he had his attack buff, but he was gonna die afterwards. I have constantly said, if you're new to the game, Mandricardo is like one of the better single target riders you can get over Ushi because his hit counts aren't messed up. Ryouma has far better hit counts. Let's bring up Mandricardo. Hit counts far better. Like, he is built like a year 1 servant and kind of has, I don't want to say full year 1 hit counts, but they're not that much better. These do kind of look like year 1 hit counts. This is the exception though. Yeah, no, actually that is a very fair comparison to compare Ryouma to Mandricardo, because they actually do have the same type of buff. Mandricardo just has wider, like, better buffs. Yeah. So if you're only other like you, because now Kentoki's in the shop with him too. If you have Scotty, you should obviously be using Kentoki. If you do not have Scotty, I would definitely put Ryoma over leveling Ushi, leveling Mandricardo, just because he's a 5-star. He's easier to level, number one, because you have the Ascension materials. You are guaranteed to get an MP5 because when you're just starting the game, you are not rolling FP like that. You are not rolling FP to be getting like MP5 for like every single 3-star, 2-star, and 1-star in the game. You're rolling just to have spots filled. You'll eventually fill out your servant roster and getting MP5s. But this is something you can do like pretty early in the game just by playing through it. Like if you play through like Singularity F and 1 on JMP, I think you might have enough evocation leaves actually to just straight up buy him. At least one copy. Does he need a lot of work still? Yes. Is he solid now? Yeah, absolutely. 100%. An MP buff like this is... no, there's something added to Coopers. Yeah, with his MP buff, he is better than a 3-star. That's what he needed. He should not have been compared to a 3-star as much as he was. All right, I'm gonna dip out. Hope you guys have a good day. Peace.
Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.